think of a flower, a rose. You have a bud. Okay, the bud is in the center, and then you have the petals going around. So I have 3 petals around the bud, and then I would have another 3 larger ones, and then as the flower gets bigger, may I make that into 4, 5, and so on like that. As the diameter gets bigger, you need more petals. But we'll keep it quite simple. I will just do 3 around the bud, and then 4 around those 3 petals. So we want to have the bud, which is average size, and then the petals, we want the first 3 that goes around the bud are small, and the ones that go around that are a little larger. And you'll understand how large the more you do it. But you don't want to go overly large, you want to keep it nice. And now, when you're making a plaque of flowers, a plaque with flowers on it, you will do different size flowers, so different size balls and stuff like that. So consistency is very important. So there's 3 there. I've got the bud. I've got 1, 2, 3. I might just do 4 in case I need it. I can make it with 3 and 3, but I'll do 4. Okay. So now what we want to do is put them so the plastic goes over the top. Okay. And then just all I've done is just gently flatten them a little bit, just so that the balls don't roll around everywhere. Okay. Now, this is the important bit, is getting the right shape. So, if you imagine the petal is thicker at the base and thinner at the top. So we need to make a nice thin edge, but keep the base relatively thick. Okay. So I'm going to do the bud first. So you may want to come in and have a look a little bit closer. Okay. So I'm just using my thumb to push down on the edge to make that nice and fine, but I haven't squeezed it so it's like paper thin. It's just a nice crisp edge. It's got a little bit of a slope to it, and it's quite thick there. Okay?
May I feel it?
Yeah. You see how it's got a little. So all I'm doing is pushing down on the outer edge.
It's almost like a rainbow effect.
Just like that. So it's got that nice.
See, that's a lot thicker than what I thought it would be.
So you don't want to make it too thin. If you make it too thin, it doesn't hold its shape, and it's very hard to work with because it's too flimsy. The important bit is just getting that nice and sharp. And these are the bigger ones, slightly bigger. Now, any experienced pastry chef will have their own technique, so this is just the way I've always been doing it. Other people do it different ways. So, make sure that there's room. If I'm doing a lot, I use a big plastic sheet and I'll do all the balls along there like that. So I'll do them all in one go, you know? So you can see all that. It's got that little dip to it there. It's thin there, a little thicker there, and the way to go through. So now what we have to do is put it together. So, okay, there's 2 ways of making the bud. There's a way I'm about to show you, or the simpler version is just by rolling a ball and then making a point. So you could either do it like that, and then the flowers, petals go around that. So, but the way I do it, I roll the outer edge, if you're left or right-handed, which you go opposite, the right edge into the center of the petal. So I'm rolling that around into the center of the petal, and then the other opposite side comes over that. So I wrap that around like that, and then you get something like this. Okay? So that's now, and this one obviously looks much nicer than that one, but if you can't get that, it's a good way of starting with the other one. So what I'm going to do now, each of the petals goes around the bud. So with this piece here, that open piece towards me, I'm going to place the petal slightly above the bud, in the center, okay? And then I'm just going to fold that over. So see how it's folded over? Yep. And then we're going to do the same with the next one. Halfway around that petal, goes around like that. So I've got two now. And the third one, I'm just gently going to prise back that first petal and put in this one. So halfway around that petal, inside there and over like that. So you get that kind of, okay, like that.
It's growing out of it.
Yep. So now that gives it some shape. I can actually squeeze that around a little bit to maybe push those down, whatever I want to do. So even that now I can use as a part of a display, you know, when you do a few of them. Now what I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm just going to make sure it's just slightly above, and then on, and then this one, all exactly the same. But what I do with this one, now I'm just going to go, I can even pull that back, you've got to make sure you don't stick it down. Like that, this goes in, that goes on. I know it's a bit bulky at the moment, but all I can do now is just shape that. So depending on how tight you want to get the petals is the shape that the rose is going to take. And you know, it's, yeah, the roses on the bush, they all grow the same, but there's some different shapes. Generally you can squeeze those in, open it out, close it up. And then you're just going to cut that off there like that. And then that's, looks like that. Okay? Yeah, but I mean, I took my time to show you exactly that. And then I'll just do I want to go next to it.